Thank you, Zoom. Yeah, it's good to go, Lina.
Okay, well, sorry. You can already see my skills, how good I am with the computers.
It's okay.
There we go.
We'll still hear you.
Okay, yeah, so I was brought up on a very clean diet, Mediterranean, all of that. We had access to everything within the fields and the yards, and we didn't really have to go and buy much produce outside. So I was very inspired when I came to England, and I saw a very, very different way of eating and very different way that the produce was available to us. It took me on a journey to understand, you know, why things are so different here, why we have the global transportation and the plastics, and you know, things don't taste as they did when I was back home. So it took me on a journey to understand how important nutrition is for our body and why we need all these nutrients that we get from fruits and vegetables and the rest of our foods. So, as I said earlier, we're talking about how to help our brain to thrive. The 5 areas that we have on the slide are basically we need to keep learning more all the time. We need to keep our mind stimulated with new knowledge. We need to get moving, and I will briefly touch on exercise. We need to stay connected with nature, with our friends, with good feelings, and we need to eat right, and we need to take charge of our emotions and our thoughts, which is what Lina is going to cover later. So just some brain facts, okay? Interestingly, the heart is no longer the sicker organ in the body, it is the brain. And when we say the brain is sicker than the heart, we mean things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, depression, anxiety, cognitive behaviors, and all of that. At the same time, the brain is the most treatable organ with good nutrition than any other organ. The brain consists of around 60% fat, as we know, which can rust. Basically, it's the oxidization that happens with various means that, you know, what we are exposed to, and we need antioxidants to neutralize this rust. And one key factor to long-term brain health is to avoid energy spikes. For example, when we eat a baguette on its own, the insulin goes up and then it comes down again. And all that fluctuation is harmful for the brain. And exercise is the single most greatest brain medicine that we can do. It's free, it's accessible, it's available, it's got variety, it's got different intensities and things like that to fit us. And it produces something called the brain growth factor that helps the brain to make new connections. So we all need to be growing our brain garden every day. This is an old journalist from 2010, and I found it really interesting because before 2010, we didn't know much about the relationship between lifestyle factors and our future or current health. We thought that if our grandparents or parents had a certain health condition, then we would mostly inherit it too. But then the science of epigenetics and nutri-epigenetics came along in around 2010, and when they identified the human genome, and it tells us basically that we can change the way that our genes express themselves according to what we eat, how we think, and various other factors. So as recently as 2010, it was considered crazy to look for associations between the microbiome and behavior. So if you said to somebody what you're eating may affect your mood, it was a very strange concept back then. But now we know, we have many studies, a lot of evidence to show that there is, you know, obviously links to dementia, autism, and many other brain disorders. Because we know that we have 2 brains, the brain and the gut. They talk to each other via the vagus nerve. For example, if we eat something and the gut likes it, is good for it, for example, broccoli, then it creates the bacteria which create the right chemicals. And then again, they pass on the message to the brain that this is good for me, so please give me more. So this is how we end up craving more and more proper food if we do make the effort to eat correctly. Your gut is host to 100 trillion individual bacteria, from 500 plus species. That is 3 times more bacteria than there are human cells in the body. Oops, sorry. So at the moment, they're thinking we have about 33 to 40 trillion human cells, and we have actually more bacteria in our body than we have human DNA. So which is really interesting, because if we look after those bacteria, then we have a lot of power to improve our health. So this is just a slide that shows some of the chemicals that we are exposed to day to day. Not just the chemicals from, you know, the plastic bottles or the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, you know, the electromagnetic radiation. Then we have also things, pesticides, herbicides through our foods. And these, I mean, this is quite shocking. 232 toxic chemicals were found in umbilical cord blood from US newborns. And so unfortunately, the way the fast-paced world and, you know, cheap foods and things like that, we are exposed to these every day. That's why we must make an effort to detoxify our body again on a daily basis. So how do we protect our brain? What can we do? We're talking about nutrition today, hydration, and proper nutrients. So the top nutrients for the brain are, sorry, can you see this okay? Can you all hear me okay? Yeah. Sorry, done something with my thingy here and I can't see you all.
You can, yeah, actually you can also share the maximize your slides, Lina, as well wanted to say before.
Thank you. And I've also lost the thumbnail where everybody is, so I can't quite see you. Never mind, as long as you can see me, it's fine.
We can still see you and we can still see the slides. And if you just want to share to enlarge them.
To enlarge them, is it this one?
And you can click on participants to
Pardon?
get the, you can click on participants to get the people.
That's correct as well, yeah. To share the slides, you can also click on that little, I don't know how to describe it, just next to on the bottom right, next to the size of your screen where you say 100. The next one is like a little board there. If you can click on that, I think it would show the, so actually,
Or
there's
the third icon that says presenter view.
Yeah, you can do that as well. Or on the top left, it says play from the current slide.
And then I'll just, okay, fine. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah.
Where am I? Sorry, guys.
No worries.
Okay, so yeah, we talked about this one and the top 5 nutrients for the brain-gut connection. Now, when I say 5 nutrients, remember that there is no nutrient that works in isolation. It's a group of nutrients. So one of them, phytonutrients available in fruits, vegetables. There are about 100,000 phytonutrients that we are studying at the moment. They're not yet all identified, but they have different categories, different functions, different names, different sub-names. So it's quite exciting what's happening in this world at the moment. The 2 of them that I mentioned, they are lutein and zeaxanthin. They are in the carotenoid family, and they are very important for cognition and vision. And then, of course, we know about the polyphenols, which we can find in normally the dark colored foods such as berries, black grapes, beetroots. And they're strong antioxidant. They protect our brain cells, our neurons, from the toxins that we are exposed to. And then omega-3, again, omega-3 not on its own, but the good omega-3, the most important omega-3 is the one that we're finding in things like walnuts and you know, wild salmon, avocado. I'll talk about those in a moment later. But just going back to this pyramid, because you may remember what the old food pyramid looked like, which was basically carbohydrates on the bottom, meats, and then vegetables and fruits were kind of somewhere in the middle, and then the treats on the top. Now, we have the base here, which is comprised of vegetables of different colors, Then some of the, onions and mushrooms are very important. And then some of the meats or the fish, according to whether you're vegan or vegetarian. And then the fruits are there. And then the good fats and the treats and the sweets are not on this pyramid at all. The top ones are the grains. And again, they have to be the right grains because, again, with what's happening with our food industry, the processing and stuff, but I won't go there anyway. So, and then the antioxidant vitamins, which again, we can find in fruits, vegetables, and nuts, A, C, D, E, and K. They help to work with the phytonutrients and to make the right chemistry in the body. And we have different types of B vitamins. The ones that I picked out are the B12 because it helps with memory, and the folate, which helps to make some neurotransmitters which are important for cell communication in the brain, and water, which is an underestimated nutrient. If you want, we can call it a nutrient because it has 10 different functions in the body, and it is very important that we all keep well hydrated. I know most people don't because they think they don't need it, or there is no time, or it's dull to keep on drinking water and we just, drink tea or coffee instead, but water is essential for brain health. And this just shows again some of the other phytonutrients like anthocyanins, again found in berries, lutein, which I mentioned, and the omega fatty acids. And this is a study from 2013. It says oxidative stress and the pathogenesis of Alzheimer's disease. So oxidative stress is basically when there is more of the bad things in our body than the good things. So we're not having enough antioxidants in the body to combat the harmful chemicals that are being produced, and so they're taking over and causing damage to our system. So the top foods that I picked out here for vegans, avocado. For non-vegans or vegetarians, we have a wild-caught salmon. If possible, you can get wild-caught fish, really good, and berries. So blueberries, bilberries. Leafy greens of a large variety, such as spinach, kale, parsley. If you can take these every day, that they're really powerful. Broccoli, because again, it has broccoli is the favorite food of one of our bacteria that lives in the gut and that produces some amazing chemicals that just do wonderful things in the body. I don't want to bore you with the details, but yeah, walnuts, dark chocolates, rich in B vitamins and iron, and the spices because they're strongly anti-inflammatory. So far we've been told that we have to be consuming about 5 portions of fruits and vegetables every day. There are different world recommendations around different countries. Some countries, if you want to just pop in the chat, maybe where you live, what is the recommended daily intake of fruits and vegetables? Because the UK have kept it at 5 because the average person is managing about 3 to 4 portions, 3.3 to 3.8 portions. I think now people are becoming more aware of it, but this study from 2017 from the Imperial College in London tells us that the more portions of fruits and vegetables we consume, the lower our risk of premature death. So anything over 7 portions, the risk goes down to, by 42%. So if you consume 0 portions of fruits and vegetables, you have 0 protection against disease. So what is it about fruits and vegetables? Why am I so passionate and crazy about fruits and vegetables? Because they're basically our guardian angels. They do so much for us. All the colors they produce, the different pigments have different functions in the body. That's why if you see a nutritionist, that is again one of the things that nutritionists do not disagree on, is that we must be eating a large variety of colorful foods every day. Now they say 30 different plants per week. We'll show you a way that you can get 30 different plants every single day in your diet and more. They contain the antioxidants, which we said neutralize the free radicals. All of the thousands of phytonutrients, living enzymes, which are essential to life. We can't live without them. Then the fiber, which feeds the microbiome, such as broccoli that I mentioned, and all the fruits and vegetables. And then the variety is the one that lowers inflammation. There are many studies, again, they say about diabetes and the reduction of, insulin resistance when a person eats a variety of color in their diet. And of course, food is information. We either heal the body or we harm the body by the choices that we make. These are some conditions that are associated with whole food deficit: Alzheimer's, anxiety, depression, learning and behavior disorders, diabetes, neurodegenerative conditions such as multiple sclerosis, motor neuron disease, autoimmune disease. There's a very strong link between autoimmune disease and gut health. Joint problems such as rheumatoid arthritis or any kind of arthritis, heart disease, high blood pressure, and cancer. So when we say whole foods, we mean, for example, if you take an apple on its own contains between 400 to 1,000 different nutrients. We have not identified all of them. These are just some of the ones that have been identified. And all the nutrients in a food work in synergy. They tell each other what to do. They exist in very small quantities, but together they communicate with each other, and the body recognizes that it's food and it does the right thing in the body. When you compare, for example, some of us may be taking multivitamins. The multivitamin may have some of those nutrients only. For example, ascorbic acid. Vitamin C is an umbrella term for many different types of vitamin C's that come under it. The supplement may only have one of those, such as ascorbic acid. And what that does is, not only does it not provide you with the rest of the nutrients, but also if there is a high dose of one of those nutrients, then it will affect how the body works with the other nutrients in the body. So it can cause imbalances elsewhere. And of course, we have to question what is in those multivitamins. Why are they so brightly red? Why are they chalky? What is in them, like bulking agents, gelling agents, fillers or glucose syrup and all of that. So please, when you choose when you choose a supplement, be very careful. Make sure that it is tested, it is substantiated, and that it is a third party, that it is regulated, basically, because you can go to a supermarket and buy gummies for your kids and you see the first ingredient being colorings or glucose syrup. So there is very, very little nutrition in that, and also it may not even be absorbed because it doesn't contain the orchestra effect that an apple would, for instance. So for me, as a clinician, I find it very difficult to get people to eat this large variety of fruits and vegetables every single day. And I've searched high and low to find a supplement that is firstly evidence-based. It is third-party tested, and it is bioavailable. It gets absorbed in the body and it works in the body in the correct way, where it doesn't cause imbalances elsewhere. So we've got 4 different blends. I take all of them every day and I recommend them to all the clients that come and see me, as well as my family. My kids are on them. So basically what the company have done is they have taken 30 of the most nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables and algae and seeds and compressed them in such a way that they are not compromised nutritionally. The living enzymes are there. And then they put the powders into a capsule to protect the powders from being oxidized. So 2 of each capsule, which is the dose, 2 of the green, 2 of the red, and 2 of the purple are equivalent, so 2 of each are equivalent to 240 milliliters of cold pressed juice that you take every single day in a capsule form, contains no sugar, no calories, no carbohydrates, and it is living raw food. And then again, you've got the omega there, which for people who don't like to take fish oils because they're very questionable nowadays, we have a vegan omega blend, which again is important that we have all the omegas in there, not just the 3, because if it's synergistic, it will work much better in the body. And it comes from algal oil, because basically some of you may know that fish do not actually make omegas, they eat them from the algae. So we've gone directly to the algae and taken them in the same way that they exist in nature. And again, when we do buy supplements, most of them will be sealed with heat. So if it's an oil, it's quite dangerous actually, because that oil will have become rancid in the process, and we're basically putting rancid oils in our system, which is not only beneficial that we expected it to be, but it can also be harmful. So again, going back to the rainbow, make sure if you can every day, you know, with the kids and yourself, just be inspired to eat a large variety of color. And this is Dr. Du Bois. He's an internal medicine doctor. He's been in practice for 50, 60 years. And he's all about the research. And he said that there is nothing available anywhere else in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what these capsules do in the human body, just because of the variety and the processing that they keep intact. And for those of you who love a bit of science like me, these are some of the journals that we can expect to find the studies in. We've got 41 clinical papers, which are peer-reviewed, gold standard, placebo-controlled, and randomized controlled trials, which basically show that the products act in the body in the same way as raw fruits and vegetables of a large variety. So they help the immune system because of the variety of nutrients they contain. They support healthy skin circulation, systemic inflammation, of course. They help to repair DNA damage based on the science of nutri-epigenetics. They support heart health because they can help lower homocysteine levels. They support healthy gums, and they generally reduce oxidative stress. And this is Dr. Mitra Ray. She will tell you in a minute why it makes sense.
You don't get a headache because you have an aspirin deficiency. You get a headache because something's off kilter in your body, out of balance. To bring the body back into balance, back into what we call homeostasis, you need to eat right. There's just no way around that. Your immune system, in order to work properly, needs good nutrition. We have something called plasticity in the immune system. What that means is that our immune system can see a bacteria it has never seen before or a virus it has never seen before, and it can come up with a defense strategy. That is the plasticity of the immune system, and that's what you want. You want that full potential of the immune system to be turned on, and that happens with good nutrition, lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of whole food nutrition. And the variety of fruits and vegetables is so important. This is why Juice Plus is such a great product. Huge variety. I don't care if you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables or not, you're probably not getting the variety that is available through Juice Plus. With the technology that's used to make Juice Plus, you're getting the benefit of raw food nutrition. Of course, it's in a capsule, so it's hard to imagine, but this technology has actually been around and perfected. And if you look at the research backs up that people are getting the results as if they were eating lots and lots of different fruits and vegetables and berries every single day. So that's what makes Juice Plus so unique.
Yeah, so where our diet...
You don't get a headache because...
Where our diet fails us, basically, we need to top up with the right extra nutrition. So this one is from one of my favorite authors. She's won many awards. The food you eat can either be the safest and most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. I'm not saying not to treat yourselves, but just obviously to be aware that this is not really helping us in any way at all. Just think of your brain as a colorful garden that you want to nurture every day. This is Dr. Terry Walls. She's a clinical professor of medicine and an MS sufferer. Please Google her. Very, very touching story. I was in tears when I heard her, how she reversed her MS. Basically, she became a functioning individual after she was in a wheelchair through nutrition. And she says, you can pay the price now for food that restores your health and vitality, or you can pay the price later for doctor visits, prescription drugs, surgeries, missed time from work, early retirement, and nursing home care. Thank you very much for listening. I will pass you on to the lovely Lina.
Thank you, Lina. That was amazing, actually. It was a lot of things that I was interested in as well. You can also share your details, I think, on the chat if anybody wants to contact you, or just if anybody has any questions right now, it probably would be a good time to ask.
Yeah, any questions? I'm sorry if I speak fast and with my heavy accent. I'm not sure how much you understood.
Oh, I'm sure it was fine. Yeah, let us know if you have any questions. Otherwise, you can always type the questions in the chat or just contact us. Yeah, I think Shabari wants us to ask something. Yeah, go on. You just unmute yourself, yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Shabari.
Hi, that was great, Lina. I wanted to ask you actually, are there any foods? I'm a vegan myself, but I wanted to know, are there any foods that would help actually to you know, reduce the likelihood of Alzheimer's or dementia. My mother-in-law, she's in her 70s. She's not vegan, but she's semi-vegetarian. But she had last year she was diagnosed as having an onset of dementia, and I was just wondering, are there any particular foods that would help slow down or actually even prevent you from getting dementia or Alzheimer's?
So it's a great question, and it's a hot topic for many of us on the call tonight. I know of a few. There is no particular food. The key is a variety and whole foods, and also, I mean, I don't want to get into details about it now, but there is if you Google if you have a look at Patrick Holford, he's done I strongly recommend his book called The 5-Day Diet. He talks about different types of intermittent fasting and how beneficial that can be for the brain. And he says that most conditions can be reversed with the right type of intermittent fasting, with the right nutrition at the same time. So we can get in touch and I can talk to you about it if you want, Shabari, at another time. I hope that helps to answer your question slightly. I'm aware of the time, so but keep in touch with me and I'll help you to answer that a bit better.
That's great. Thank you, Lina.
Thank you. Lina, do you want to go ahead with your presentation? Then we'll see.
Yes, definitely. Let's go ahead. If anybody has any questions, yeah, please feel free to ask. I'm actually just seeing some people they was asking about recording. I think we're gonna share the recording with you. But if you want, yeah, if you want, just share your email address through the personal message, and we're gonna make sure that is sent to that email address.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you for that. And to be very honest, I'm gonna just go forward. So I'm gonna share my screen. So I'm just gonna fast forward my presentation because you said a lot of you are stressed. So instead of me talking and you listening, let's just do some exercise actually. So let's, as soon as I can actually, okay, Zoom doesn't let me navigate. So let's just start from like a quick exercise that we can do, the breathing exercise, and that usually helps a lot to relax and focus and concentrate. So I know you've been already listening to Lina and there was a lot of very good information, but just to clear your mind a little bit and then be able to listen to some more of me as well. So let's just do some breathing exercise, and you can actually, it's very easy. This is something that you can learn and just use it for yourself when you have anxiety or just a lot of stress, and you have just few minutes to relax and you don't really know what to do in that case. So I usually call this exercise 5-5-5, and 5-5-5 is because you breathe in on the count of 5, you hold on the count of 5, and you breathe out on the count of 5. So it's very easy to remember as well. And just let's do it very quickly now. So if you want to just sit down comfortably with your back straight, you can put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly or your abdominal area. So in that case, you're just gonna see how your body is reacting to the breath. And just trying not to make too much noise. So let's just close our eyes and just very quickly, just try to take a deep breath into your abdominal area. So expanding your belly, expanding your abdominal area, breathing in and counting to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's do it one more time. So let's just breathe in. You can count for yourself in your own mind, your own count. Hold your breath. And breathe out. And just one more time. Hold your breath. Breathe out. And just breathing deeply, deeply and slowly, and just breathe out. Just let everything go. All the stress, all the worries. Just breathing in deeply. Noticing your belly expanding, your chest expanding. Holding your breath to the count of 5 again. Breathing out. And let's go back to the presentation. So go back in your own time.
Gosh, it's so powerful. This is what's missing from my life.
So yeah, that's why the breathing exercise is really good. And it's actually, I always recommend, because it's not only helps you to relax, but at the same time, it gives you that a bit of focus, and especially holding your breath. So it's kind of like, actually, when you have a, I don't know how many people here have an anxiety attacks or know at all about anxiety attacks. It's something actually that it's much more useful and beneficial when you actually hold your breath instead of breathing deeply, because a lot of people would say just breathe when you're actually stressing out. I would say just hold your breath for a little while, because it's that CO2 level that is actually helps you just to go back to a bit more balance. And yeah, just let's go back to the presentation. So welcome to this amazing event. And I'm Lina Kochanske. I'm the owner of Lina's Holistic Coaching. And this is just a little bit about me. And this is how I know all that I know about stress and anxieties and all actually illnesses that is related to stress, because I was for over 10 years in a financial environment. So finance environment. I was an accountant for over 10 years. I was working in very stressful and mentally demanding environment. And that actually caused me a lot of stress-related illnesses like migraines, IBS, anxiety, and chronic stress. So I learned all this. I worked hard actually and learned all these natural and non-harmful techniques that actually helps to release your stress quickly, your anxiety quickly. Sometimes I needed to do this just in the office, like while I was working, and I'm using them up to now. And I recommend the same for everybody else. So I specialize in simple stress management and relaxation techniques, and you will see that later in the presentation as well. So let's talk about mind's health. So Lina was talking about brain's health. Let's talk about mind's health. So a bit more about how you can keep that mind healthy. So your mind can only soak up so much information before it gets overloaded. That's pretty obvious, isn't it? And it can break down. So all that stress and anxiety attacks, that what your mind is actually trying to tell you is just too much. So stop doing what you're doing actually. So your mind needs a rest now and then to actually thrive properly. And research has shown that taking breaks can improve your mood, boost your performance, and increase your ability to concentrate and pay attention. That's where the breathing exercise I was saying, like it just increases your focus and actually the concentration. And you can do the same with other relaxation techniques, and I'm going to talk about that more later. So rest is an important part of healthy lifestyle for all ages. It doesn't matter if you are younger or older generation. It doesn't really affect. That is just everybody needs to rest, the same as you plan your work, you have to plan your rest as well. It helps your body to rejuvenate, to get back to normal, to get back to balance, regulate your mood. it actually links to a lot of like a memory functions and all that. On the other hand, not getting enough rest can negatively affect your mood, immune system, memory, and stress levels. And immune system is something that I'm especially highlighting these days because of COVID, obviously. So there's the research shows that it's not only research, so shows actually very obvious. So whoever is actually more linked to medicine, you probably know already that they inject actually stress hormones to kill immune system, or like to stop immune system when they do the organ transplant and all that. So it's proven that actually stress hormones, they do actually minimize or reduce immune system response. So, and we don't want that now when we need all that immune system to be strong for resistant to COVID and all the illnesses that is attacking us these days. So just kind of like, just for your understanding, I'm sure you know how you feel when you are stressed and how you feel when you are relaxed, but just for the comparison, just to show you actually how you feel when you are stressed and tired, or your mind is stressed and tired, and how you feel actually when you relax. So when you're stressed and tired, and I know I actually only talk about the physical symptoms. There are much more. There are behavioral and actually emotional and social and all other actually symptoms and reactions that you have due to stress and tiredness. But in this case, I'm just talking about physical symptoms that caused by stress and fatigue, and that's low energy, headaches, upset stomach, including diarrhea, constipation, nausea, aches, pains and tense muscles, chest pains and rapid heartbeats, insomnia. I think this is very common as well. Frequent colds and infections. That was definitely my case. I used to remember every single time I used to get stressed if there is something up at work coming up that is more stressful. I remember I used to be, the next day I used to have an amazing cold that is actually was just my nose was running. I couldn't stop that. So that was my case. Yeah, loss of sexual desire and ability. That's also a case. So this is what actually stress and tiredness can cause, which is, it's not pleasant, neither of this. And the other example is actually how you feel when you are relaxed. So relaxation lets your body know it's okay to save energy, actually. Your parasympathetic system takes over and release good hormones, and those are endorphins and acetylcholine. Okay, I cannot pronounce that word, but you know what I mean, actually. Hormones which slows down your heart rate, helps body to function correctly, and this is what actually we need to avoid all those symptoms that I mentioned before. So when you function correctly, you're actually avoiding all those reactions that you don't want to have. So your parasympathetic nervous system goes back and in charge, and your body functions. This part of your nervous system regulates the work of your organs and glands while you are resting. So it's very important to actually have that rest time for your mind to actually function properly and actually regulate your body to function properly at the same time. So there is also, so you cannot just, like some people, they just say, you know what, I'm just going to watch a little bit of television after work and that's my rest for a day. And most of the time that just doesn't work. So it works for those few minutes while you are directing your attention from the thing that you were stressing about during the day, or like the tension of the day. But it only works for that moment. You actually, what you need to do instead is, rather than that, you need to activate your body's natural relaxation response, a state of deep rest that slows your breathing and your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and brings your body and mind back into balance. So that's very important part, actually. So always keep in mind that just directing your mind to different topic, it doesn't always help you to relax. So always bear in mind that all you need to do, you need to slow down. So you need to actually, you rather sit down and meditate or breathe. So in that case, you completely connect with yourself, and you ask yourself if there is something that you need to attend to, or just let everything go. That's much more effective than actually just redirecting your attention. So I just prepared few actually techniques that I think is very useful and it's very easy, and most of them can be done in just 5 minutes. or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So you don't really need like hours of your time actually to spend on those relaxation techniques. And those are meditation, breathing exercise, as we just did before, yoga, mindful relaxation, and rhythmic exercise.
Oh, I'll do that.
Yeah, I think I just done it. So deep breathing, as I mentioned before, this is what we've been doing before. So abdominal breathing starting from 5 to 20 minutes each day will reduce your anxiety, stress, and relaxes your mind. And I don't know if you experienced that, so you can actually share your comments after if that made you feel better. But breathing exercise, especially if it's done regularly, it can reduce anxiety and stress, and that's usually very easy. It's actually, I think it's definitely my go-to technique if I want to relax quickly and I don't have a lot of time to actually sit down and meditate. So breathing is kind of like it just prompts that relaxation much faster. So deep breathing increases the supply of oxygen to your brain and stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system again, which promotes state of calmness. Breathing exercise also increases lungs capacity, and breathing through your nose can help breathe easier. This is something that I probably forgot to mention when we were breathing. I always suggest to breathe through your nose, not your mouth. It's much healthier, and especially if you have breathing difficulties, like for example, like asthma or like allergies or something like that, it's much better to actually get into the habit to breathe through your nose. You do absorb much less all whatever is happening in the air, whatever is in the air. So all the dust, all the pollens and all that, it's much healthier as well. It affects all your body, and I think there's a lot of research, especially new research these days, that breathing through your nose, it can affect even the shape of your face and insomnia and a lot of different other things. So always be mindful about breathing through your nose instead of your mouth. And this is what we did before. So this lovely cat still actually breathing there. Next one is meditation. And I always suggest to start from something simple like mindfulness meditation. And I'm gonna show, and I'm gonna give you an example of mindfulness meditation after the event. And that's going to be just a simple body scan. So it's another technique that you can actually use it without thinking too much, without using any apps or anything. I always recommend the meditation that you do it on your own, like a silent meditation, instead of using the guided ones or the apps. Because in that case, you concentrate much more on yourself, you connect much more with yourself, and you actually can attend to your own needs instead of just being told what to actually do at that time. But it's always good to start learning that with the guided meditation, so at the beginning. But I'm going to walk you through the simple steps that you can just do it on your own when you actually need to relax quickly. So with meditation, you can learn to detach from negative, anxious thoughts. With mindfulness meditation every morning, you can actually do that very easily. So you can transform your thoughts from something negative to something a bit more positive, or just notice how they actually are. Maybe you have very positive thoughts, so just congratulate yourself, just congratulate the wins that you're actually a very positive person. This can be achieved again by practicing awareness, identifying tension in the body, understanding yourself and your thinking patterns, and learning how to deal with difficult thoughts and emotions. So again, it's the same thing. Like with mindfulness meditation, you can really achieve so much, especially with connecting, being mindful, being intuitive about your health in general, because I'm always promoting intuitive health, because I think our bodies, they have a capacity to heal if we just give them a few minutes to actually realize what they need, and we give them some time to adjust to what is needed and what needs to be done next. Rhythmic exercise, I always suggest rhythmic exercise to people who are a bit more energetic and they find it a bit boring, yoga or like a meditation or something like that. So you can always just have an old-fashioned run or a walk or a swim actually. So rhythmic exercise is something that you do constantly, like the same action, just repeating the same action. And that really helps to actually for your brain to rest and become less reactive. And this is where that actually reset and actually rest and calm comes from. So obviously rhythmic exercise has a therapeutic effects and helps to relax. I personally recommend the walks in the park because the nature adds its own relaxation to any exercise. So whatever you do, actually just do it in the nature. Obviously, if the weather is great like now, it's definitely much more tempting to do those exercises in nature. So again, mindful exercise is something that I more promote. So for example, if you do the walk in the park or you run in the park, be very mindful of what you're doing at that moment. So notice your surroundings, notice how you feel when you're doing that action, instead of just thinking what you're going to do after, or what you're going to eat after, or who you're going to talk after, instead of listening to the music or like talking to someone on the phone. Just be very mindful of what you're doing at that time. So just think of like, for example, like you can concentrate on your muscles, like which muscle is working when you're actually making a move. It's very interesting. Sometimes it's really curious. I don't know how many of you tried mindfulness exercise in general. I do a lot of with my eating, actually, with my food, when I take every single product, and Lina was talking about amazing, actually healthy products from her own country, actually, where she was eating very healthy. So it's kind of like I do the same. It's kind of like I get the product that I'm eating, like for example, if that's a tomato, like I'm trying to just imagine where that tomato came from, how does it taste, how does it feel when I cut it, and it's all this mindfulness exercise is actually very interesting, and it helps you to concentrate a bit more on what you're doing at that time, if that's eating or running or whatever you do. So yoga is another thing that I always recommend. I love it myself. Like, I think yoga was the best exercise for me, but I understand that not everybody does that. Who wants to do it, I really recommend, and there is a different types of yoga for that. So yoga has a long been known to be great antidote to stress and help to relax your mind and your body at the same time. So yoga combines many popular stress reducing techniques, including exercise and learning to control your breath, clear the mind and relax the body. I think that's why yoga is so amazing, because it has two things that is actually relaxes you too. So it has that breath control, and at the same time the exercise for your body. So you kind of like, you get 2 for 1 at least, and even more probably. As yoga become increasingly popular, more and more people are discovering the benefits of this ancient practice brings to the stress, actually that practices that it brings to your stressful lives. And there's a different yoga techniques, like for example hatha yoga. My favorite is the yin yoga. I don't know if you heard about it. So it's a bit more slower yoga than normal, than we usually kind of like try yogas. There's a hot yoga. There's another option that I always mention, because I know if a lot of people know, but it's amazing, like when you do the yoga in the heat. And different pranayamas. Pranayamas is a breathing techniques as well, that they is similar to yoga practices. And just a few great yoga practices for stress relief, actually. So you can find them on different sources online, or just try it on YouTube. YouTube is amazing, actually. And the one that I'm doing right now, and I'm really loving it, is actually the yoga by rituals. And there's a yin yoga by rituals that I just love it. They do amazing yoga with this teacher. I think her name is Laura, and she's just amazing. Just another recommendation if you want to try. Mindful relaxation. So when I'm talking about mindful relaxation, I'm just talking about planning the relaxation in your life, and that's your own choice of relaxation. So same as you plan your work, plan your relaxation time too. I think is equally important. It has to be equally important. I think a lot of us discard that. But it's really important actually to have that relaxation technique. It's not only enough the sleep that we actually have. At the same time, when you do relaxation techniques, your sleep usually improves as well. So you get that extra relaxation, extra mind health. Your mind and your body needs to rest to function properly, and you should consider that. So plan your personal relaxation routine. Think about what it makes you feel relaxed. So this could be very personal. In some cases, it could be just a hot bath. In other cases, it could be actually just talking to your loved ones. and just discussing your day, how did your day go, or the events that it was in your day. Just remember that the best and natural is the natural relaxation techniques, that it triggers your natural impulses and slows down your breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure. So just be mindful sometimes about the relaxations that you actually choose. You can choose one of those that I recommended. So all those yoga, meditation, breathing exercise. As I say, otherwise you can choose something like aromatherapy, or just sleeping early. It's just going to sleep earlier. So prolonging your sleep, having relaxation, meditation before your sleep, so you can actually sleep better. There's a lot of different techniques that actually can help you with if you need. Here is just aromatherapy, so it's something that again is like I'm quite passionate about. I think it's really helps for different occasions, or like different cases of stress and anxiety and kind of like fatigues. So in this case, it's just more about deep relaxation, and I would suggest that lavender, clary sage, melissa, ylang ylang, and rose. You can actually make a blends, you can mix them up. I usually suggest just one at a time. You can try it out which one you like the most. Some of them you might not like, some of them they might be more to your liking, but those are just suggestions that what you can use to relax a bit more. And here is just actually some services that Lina's Holistic Coaching, so my business, does and can help you with. When I was talking about meditation, I don't know how many of you meditate regularly, but if you don't and you want to start, the 7 weeks Learn to Meditate program is actually really great to learn meditation and implement meditation into your daily habits. I know some of you here actually already meditating with me, so I'm very happy with that. So you can probably maybe even share your thoughts about that with others. It's a one-to-one coaching online, so how to meditate, and we usually go through implementation of meditation, of learning how to meditate and finding the best meditation for you. Another program that I usually recommend is Wellness Transformation Program, and that's a bit more looks into the issue that you have. So if that's a stress management or just finding the right relaxation techniques, again, it could include that meditation, learning, and breathing techniques. So just adding those holistic, natural ways of how you can actually relax and keep your mind balanced and healthy, and actually just be happy about it. So you can always ask me more about those programs, or just go onto my website. Is linasholisticcoaching.com, and you're gonna be able to see that later when I share my details. And that was it from me. So it's actually, or at least from my presentation, because we're gonna go through the meditation after. So I'm gonna finish I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. This is what I was meant to say. And please feel free to ask any questions. I'm happy to answer them. I'm just going through the chat if there was anything that I need to answer now. I can see Ernie says that he's stressed. Ernie, did the breathing exercise didn't help?
You can unmute yourself if you want. Can't hear you.
No, Lina, it was just a joke. I am feeling on top of the world, but we know the weekend went well, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. So we just had the last Saturday with Ernie. So Ernie is a Tai Chi master actually, and we just had the Tai Chi and meditation in the park, in Sadek Park. So for those people that is in Southeast London, and it was amazing. So yeah, Ernie is joking with me that he's still stressed after that. We're definitely gonna have it again.
Stress. If you're a Tai Chi master, you're not allowed stress.
I think I was joking.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I think Ernie is the opposite of stressed, I would say. That's lovely. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we can just actually move to meditation. At the same time, I'm just going to remind Lina as well to share her details, and I'm going to share my details on the chat as well. So you can connect with me on different channels. There is my website, there's a Facebook and Instagram, and LinkedIn is probably the easiest one. Shabari has a question again. So yeah, Shabari, go on, sorry.
Thank you very much for that, Lina. I have been suffering from insomnia for quite a long time, and also I guess I'm more you know, I have different energy levels, and I'm really not a morning person at all. And because of my insomnia, I'm having to make up my sleep, you know, at some point during the day. You know, just as an example, this afternoon, I wanted to get lots of things done, but my body needed to rest, and I had a few hours rest in the afternoon. I mean, should I really try and keep myself awake by continuously doing things, or should I, you know, listen to my body when it needs rest? You know, I'm kind of like I did allow my body to rest, but I'm not sure. I felt guilty afterwards, thinking, well, I've got so many things to do and I didn't do those things, and then yeah, it kind of went like that.
Yeah, no, thank you, Shabari, for this question. To be very honest, I think it's something that I was posting recently on actually on my social media as well, that don't ever go against what your body needs, actually. And I think rest is the most important. So if you need to have a short nap, have a short nap. Like, everybody's going to wait. Like, if they need to wait, everybody's going to wait. I would say I'm personally, I'm an expert of 15-20 minutes naps. And this is something like, if I don't feel like I had enough sleep during the night, have a nap, have a meditation, have a breathing exercise, have a walk. No one is going to actually happen if you're just going to take 15-20 minutes break. But you definitely, if you feel like you need to rest, you do need to rest. It's your body telling you, and that means that's the most important. So I think this is what I was saying, that I was just posting recently on social media, that make yourself a priority. You always have to be a priority, no matter what happens. So always recommend that. I know sometimes we are having a busy schedules, and we do need to attend to some things. Like, I remember I used to be in the office working, so obviously you cannot have a nap in the office, so I do understand that. So what I used to do, I just used to go to the park during my lunchtime, and used to just have a quick kind of like a 5-10 minutes meditation, or even the nap there, like during the summer, just to sit down next to the tree and just have a 5-10 minutes nap. But you definitely need to attend to your needs. You need to make yourself a priority, actually.
Thank you, Lina.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hopefully you can find the way how you do that. Actually, there are different ways, but definitely just find your own personal one.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yes, I'm actually not seeing the whole screen. Sorry, I'm just checking if anybody else wants to ask question, but I just assume that it's not. Lina, have you seen anything in the chat that I missed?
No questions.
Okay, in this case, let's move to the meditation, and I'm just going to share the sound as well very quickly, so that just makes it a little bit nicer. So you should just bear with me 1 second. Oops. You can just get comfortable in the meantime. I would recommend to sit down, or if you want to lie down, just need to warn you, if you want to lie down, actually, you might fall asleep. So if you don't mind, it's fine. We can leave you to sleep. It's 9 o'clock, or at least here in UK, and it's perfectly fine to go to sleep. So we probably just leave you there sleeping, but just be mindful about that. It's all about rest, as I say. So if you sleep, we're definitely not going to try to wake you up. But if you lie down, you just might fall asleep. Otherwise, you can just sit down with your back straight. And it's very important to have your back straight. So if you're sitting on the chair or something, make sure your seat bones are actually both equally on the chair, and your lower back is straight. So it keeps your upper back kind of like in the 90 degrees. So it's just easier to sit in that position. So you don't need to hold yourself. It kind of like it holds your posture already. And just start to relax. So just start to close your eyes and Take a deep breath. And if someone can tell me if you can hear my voice and the music correctly, if it's not too loud, too quiet. Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna again mute you all for this, so you can just unmute yourself if you want later. So just close your eyes and take a deep breath in again. And just start to let go. So let go of all your worries. Let go of all your thoughts. Just know that there is nowhere to be, nothing to do. Just be present in this moment and just concentrate on your breathing. Just concentrate all your attention on the air coming in through your nostrils. Notice that air hitting the back of your throat. Notice it expanding your chest, your belly. Notice your chest contracting when you breathe out. So just be curious about your breathing process. Be mindful about it. And just breathing deeply and slowly. And just to slow down your breathing, if you're finding difficult to do that, you can just hold your breath for a count of 5 again, to make sure that your breathing is a little bit slower. Start to relax. Just let your mind clear. It doesn't have to be completely clear. It's most likely not going to happen. And that's okay. All you want to do right now is just to concentrate on one thing at a time. And in this case, is your breathing. It's like nothing else matters at this point. Everything else can wait. You can put it all aside. And just to make sure that your body is completely relaxed too, let's just do a quick body scan. Starting from the top of your head, going down to your toes. So just direct your attention to your forehead. Feel each muscle in your forehead relaxing. Relaxing the muscles in between your eyebrows. Around your eyes. Relaxing the muscles in your cheeks. Relaxing your jaw. Just unclenching your jaw and letting it loose. Feeling the wave of relaxation going through the back of your head and your neck. Relaxing your shoulders. Feeling the wave of relaxation going through your back, your upper back and lower back. Relaxing your arms. Letting go of any tension in your elbows, your wrists. Relaxing your palms and your fingers. Breathing deeply and slowly. Relaxing your chest, your abdominal area, your belly, your pelvis area, and your hips. Let your bones sink into that seated position. Or if you're lying down, just sink into the ground, into the surface that you're lying on. Relax your legs. Let go of any tension in your knees, your ankles. Relax your feet and your toes. And just enjoy this full relaxation of your body. Breathing deeply and slowly. Letting go of any thought, any distraction, any worry. Letting all today's events slide, just pass you by like a cloud in the sky. And just concentrating on being here and now. Feeling this relaxation in every cell of your body, every muscle, every bone. Just being completely mindful about your body, your mind, your breathing. Just taking a few minutes of your time to completely relax and let everything go. And that's sometimes all you need, to just give your mind, your brain a little break from all that has been happening during the day. And you can just take this relaxation with you throughout the evening. So breathing deeply and slowly. And when you are ready, very slowly, you can start to come back to the present. Come out of this relaxation. Start to open your eyes. Take a deep breath in. You can wiggle your toes and your fingers. Or just have a little stretch. Just come back to this present moment. Come back to us. Just when you're ready. And welcome back, everyone.
You nearly lost me there. I nearly fell asleep.
It's okay, Lina. I would let you sleeping as well.
I would have fallen off the chair. Amazing, Lina. It's so powerful, isn't it?
Thank you. Yeah, I hope you managed to relax. I hope all those people that they were very stressed. Who was that? Was Ludo. Ludo, did you manage to relax? I think Deborah as well.
No, I think you got it wrong. I didn't say I was stressed. It's just that I had another online meeting and I had like a big day. But it's true that I never take the time to properly relax by doing nothing, let's say, as in the meditation. I'm better with exercising. Yeah, so maybe for the stage where I am, I think like doing yoga or stretching maybe is my way maybe to start the day.
Yeah,
While
that's a good way.
I think I still a bit struggle, but was easier since you suggested to lay down on the bed. I think I relax better than just being seated.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes it helps. Like I usually suggest this kind of meditation that we did now. So like a simple body scan and like a relax and let go of all the day's event just before going to sleep. So in that case, you can let all your day's worries actually let it go and just sleep better. In that case, you get that better quality of sleep. Because otherwise you just bring all those worries and stresses and busyness of the day into your sleep and actually doesn't let you relax the same way. So I have to apologize. I think we went over the time quite a bit, but that's kind of like, yeah, sorry about that. So I hope you all find to stay a bit longer and hope you enjoyed the meditation. Please do share if you have anything to ask or anything to say, or you can just contact me or Lina later. I'm gonna ask Lina if she has anything to say as well. Otherwise, I would just say, don't forget to actually, yeah, just reach out. I'm just gonna save the chat as well. So for those people who asked to send the recordings, you can save the chat for the contacts of me and Lina. And if you don't know how to save the chat, there's just at the place where you actually can write the things. There's a three dots there, and if you click on it, you have an option save a chat. And I'm just gonna leave it for Lina. Yeah, go on, Ludo.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's something that happened to me in the past and now it's happening again, is that I wake up very early, like 5, was maybe 6 a.m. now it's 5 a.m. despite the time I go to sleep. Not that I go to sleep very late. I try to go maybe maximum like around 11. And I don't know if I should change my sleeping pattern. Maybe I wake up early because it's meant to be, even if I feel like I need to catch up on sleep a bit later. Or
I would say it might still not be in your case. I have to apologize to people that they are over 60, but I think over 60, that's the time when you might have this thing that you wake up a bit earlier. But that I don't think that that's your case. In this case, I would just ask you if you have this constantly, if you have the every night you wake up earlier, like every morning you wake up earlier. But it could be caused by a lot of things. It could be caused that the food by the food that you are eating before you're going to sleep, or like all the your routine before sleep. So it could be a lot of actually different things. So maybe pay attention to that a little bit more, like what you did before going to sleep, or if you are stressed lately, if you have more work than you usually do. So these kind of things, they usually affect the quality of sleep.
Yeah, just I don't know if I should try to fall asleep again, or maybe just start the day and maybe do naps maybe during the day.
Yeah, if that works, for sure. I'm kind of like, I'm definitely say if you don't have enough sleep during the night, I always say just have a nap. I think no one's gonna go against it, and I really think sometimes helps to just be a bit more productive during the day.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, everybody, I think we should close the call. Lina, thank you very much. It was lovely. I need more of this. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And if you have any questions, as I said, just keep in touch with us. You know where to find us now. And yeah, have a lovely evening.
Have a lovely evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. It was really lovely to have you all here.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.